Good morning, my friends. Life is a series of choices, and the choices you make determine the path you walk. If you want to hit your goals, you must first ask yourself, what is it that you truly want? What is worth striving for? These aren't easy questions to answer because they require honesty and reflection. When you set a goal, be precise. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Success is a vague term. What does it mean to you? Perhaps it's building a career you're proud of, improving your relationships, or becoming healthier. Whatever it is, write it down. Define it. Break it into actionable steps. If your goal is to climb a mountain, you don't just stare at the peak and wish for the summit. You map the path, pack your gear, and take one step at a time. Now, let's talk about responsibility. Goals are meaningless if you don't take responsibility for them. This doesn't mean blaming yourself for every failure. It means owning your life, your choices, and your future. Responsibility is what transforms a goal from a dream into a mission. But responsibility comes with its challenges. You will face fear, doubt, and resistance. There's a part of you that whispers you're not good enough, or you'll never make it. Confront that voice. Fear thrives on avoidance, and the longer you ignore it, the stronger it becomes. Instead, take small, courageous steps toward what frightens you. Each step you take diminishes fear's power. Is your greatest ally. Achieving your goals requires structure and effort. You have to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Sacrifice is inevitable. You may have to give up some comfort today to build the life you want tomorrow. But ask yourself, is the temporary discomfort of discipline worth the enduring pain? Don't be a perfectionist. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Celebrate small victories. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to your goal. When you stumble, and you will stumble, don't berate yourself. Learn from it, adjust, and keep moving forward. Remember, the path to hitting your goals isn't linear or easy, but it's worth every effort. You have the potential to create a meaningful life, one step, one decision, one day at a time. Start now. The person you could become is waiting. To achieve your goals, the first and most crucial step is to clarify your vision. Without clarity, you are essentially wandering through life without direction, reacting to circumstances rather than actively shaping your future. A clear vision acts as a compass, guiding your actions, decisions, and priorities. The importance of specificity in defining your goals cannot be overstated. Vague aspirations lead to vague outcomes. If you say, I want to be successful, but fail to define what success means to you, how will you know when you've achieved it? Success looks different for everyone, and without a clear picture, you risk chasing someone else's idea of fulfillment rather than your own. Start by asking yourself a series of deep and challenging questions. What do you truly want? What does a meaningful life look like to you? What are the values that matter most to you, and how do your goals align with them? These questions require introspection, and the answers may not come easily. It is tempting to rely on surface-level desires or societal expectations to guide you, but such an approach often leads to dissatisfaction. For instance, you may think that financial wealth is your ultimate goal, but upon deeper reflection, you might realize that what you truly seek is security, freedom, or the ability to provide for your loved ones. The clearer you are about the underlying motivations behind your goals, the more purposeful and fulfilling your journey will be. Identified your overarching goal, the next step is to define it with precision. Be specific, measurable, and actionable. Instead of saying, I want to get healthier, identify concrete actions such as, I will exercise for 30 minutes every day, or I will lose 15 pounds in the next 3 months by following a balanced diet. These are tangible, achievable milestones that you can work toward. Clarity in your vision eliminates ambiguity, which is often the root of procrastination and self-doubt. When your goals are well defined, you reduce the mental burden of deciding what to do next because the steps are already laid out. is a powerful tool in this process. Take time to picture your desired outcome in vivid detail. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Imagine the day when you've achieved your goal. What will your life be like? This mental rehearsal creates a sense of anticipation and motivation, making your vision feel more tangible and attainable. It also primes your subconscious mind to recognize opportunities and take actions that align with your goal. For example, if your vision involves becoming a skilled musician, you may start noticing music schools, practice techniques, or opportunities to perform that you previously overlooked. A clear vision also helps you prioritize. In today's world, distractions are endless, and without a clear sense of purpose, it's easy to become sidetracked. Social media, competing responsibilities, and the demands of daily life can pull you in multiple directions, leaving you feeling scattered and unproductive. When your vision is clear, it acts as a filter through which you can ask yourself, does this action bring me closer to my goal, or does it pull me further away? This clarity allows you to focus your time and energy on what truly matters, rather than being consumed by activities that don't align with your aspirations. It's also important to recognize that clarity is not a one-time event. Your vision may evolve over time as you grow and gain new experiences. Periodic self-reflection is essential to ensure that your goals remain aligned with your current values and priorities. Life is dynamic, and clinging to outdated goals can lead to frustration or burnout. Be willing to adapt and refine your vision as needed, but always ensure that it remains specific and meaningful to you. One of the most empowering aspects of clarifying your vision is that it shifts you from a passive to an active mindset. Instead of waiting for life to happen to you, you take ownership of your future. You become the architect of your life, deliberately designing a path that reflects your true self. This sense of agency is incredibly motivating because it reinforces the belief that your actions have a direct impact on your outcomes. And furthermore, even when obstacles arise, and they inevitably will, having a clear vision helps you stay resilient and focused. You're less likely to be derailed by temporary setbacks when you have a strong sense of purpose guiding you forward. Remember that clarity doesn't mean perfection. You don't need to have every detail figured out before you begin. Start with what you know and take the first step. Clarity grows with action. As you move toward your goal, you'll gain new insights and refine your vision further. Think of it as navigating through fog. Each step forward reveals a little more of the path ahead. The important thing is to start, even if the picture isn't entirely clear yet. Clarifying your vision is the foundation of hitting your goals. It provides direction, motivation, and a framework for decision-making. Without it, you risk wasting time and energy on pursuits that don't truly matter to you. Take the time to define what you want, why you want it, and how you plan to achieve it. This process of reflection and specificity will not only bring you closer to your goals, but also enrich your sense of purpose and fulfillment along the way. The importance of responsibility in achieving your goals cannot be overstated. Responsibility is the foundation upon which meaningful progress is built. It involves taking ownership of your actions, your choices, and your future. It is easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances for your shortcomings or waiting for the right conditions to take action. However, the truth is that progress begins the moment you decide to take full accountability for your life. When you embrace responsibility, you acknowledge that your actions have a direct impact on your outcomes, and you empower yourself to make changes that align with your goals. Taking responsibility requires a shift in mindset. It means letting go of excuses and recognizing that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you do control how you respond to those events. Life is unpredictable and obstacles are inevitable, but how you navigate those challenges determines the trajectory of your journey. If you blame external factors, such as bad luck, other people, or circumstances, you relinquish your power to create change. Responsibility, on the other hand, is about reclaiming that power. It is about saying, this is my life, and I am the one who will shape it. Also gives your goals meaning. When you take ownership of a goal, it becomes more than just a wish or a dream. It becomes a commitment. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, taking responsibility means acknowledging that your choices, such as your diet, exercise routine, and lifestyle habits, directly influence your well-being. It means accepting that no one else can do the work for you. This sense of ownership transforms your goal into a personal mission, something that matters deeply to you because it is tied to your values and sense of purpose. It's important to recognize that responsibility is not a burden, but a privilege. It is a sign of maturity and self-awareness. When you take responsibility, you affirm your role as an active participant in your own life. You acknowledge that your choices matter and that you have the ability to shape your future. This realization is liberating because it shifts your focus from what you cannot control to what you can. It reminds you that no matter how difficult the journey may be, you have the tools and the agency to persevere. Responsibility is the cornerstone of personal growth and achievement. It requires courage, discipline, and self-reflection, but it also brings empowerment, meaning, and a sense of purpose. By taking ownership of your goals in your life, you create a foundation for success that is rooted in accountability and resilience. Embrace responsibility, and you will find that the path to your goals becomes clearer and more attainable. It is through this act of ownership that you unlock your true potential and move closer to the life you aspire to create. Setting small, manageable steps is one of the most practical and effective strategies for achieving your goals. Big goals often feel overwhelming, especially when you first envision them. The scope of a significant objective, such as starting a business, achieving a fitness milestone, or mastering a skill, can feel so vast that you may not know where to begin. This sense of enormity can lead to paralysis, procrastination, and even self-doubt. Breaking down your goal into smaller, actionable steps eliminates this overwhelm and provides you with a clear, achievable path forward. Small steps serve as building blocks toward your larger goal. Think of them as milestones on a journey. Each one represents a specific, tangible action that moves you closer to your destination. For example, if your goal is to write a book, the idea of completing an entire manuscript might feel daunting. However, if you focus on writing just one page a day, that small, consistent action can accumulate into significant progress over time. By breaking the larger task into smaller chunks, you make the process manageable and less intimidating. One of the most important benefits of setting small steps is that it creates momentum. When you achieve even a minor task, it gives you a sense of accomplishment that motivates you to keep going. This psychological boost is essential, especially during the early stages of pursuing a goal, when the outcome may still feel distant. Success breeds success, and small victories build the confidence and energy needed to tackle more challenging tasks. For instance, if your goal is to get in shape, committing to a 10-minute daily workout is a small, manageable step. Once you establish that habit and begin to see progress, you may feel inspired to increase the duration or intensity of your workouts. Breaking down your goal into smaller steps also helps you stay focused. A large goal can have many moving parts, and without a clear plan, it's easy to get distracted or lose track of what needs to be done. Small steps act as guideposts, giving you a specific direction and keeping you aligned with your objectives. They provide structure and clarity, ensuring that your efforts are targeted and purposeful. For example, if your goal is to launch a new business, dividing the process into smaller steps, such as conducting market research, developing a business plan, and creating a prototype, keeps you on track and prevents you from feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. Another advantage of small, manageable steps is that they allow for flexibility. Life is unpredictable and circumstances often change. When your goal is broken into smaller tasks, it's easier to adapt your approach as needed. If one step doesn't go as planned, you can reassess and adjust without losing sight of your larger objective. This adaptability is crucial for maintaining progress and avoiding discouragement. For instance, if you encounter an unexpected obstacle in your career advancement plan, such as a delay in obtaining a certification, focusing on another small, actionable step like improving a related skill, ensures that you are still moving forward. Small steps also help you develop consistency, which is a key factor in achieving long-term success. Consistency is not about making massive strides all at once. It's about showing up and putting in the effort, day after day. By focusing on manageable tasks, you build habits that become part of your daily routine. These habits compound over time, leading to significant results. For example, if your goal is to learn a new language, committing to practicing vocabulary for just 15 minutes a day may seem insignificant in the short term. However, over weeks and months, this consistent effort can lead to substantial improvement. Setting small steps allows you to measure your progress more effectively. Large goals often take time to achieve, and the lack of immediate results can be discouraging. By completing smaller tasks along the way, you create measurable benchmarks that show you're moving in the right direction. This sense of progress not only boosts motivation, but also provides valuable feedback. If something isn't working, you can identify it early and make adjustments without jeopardizing the entire goal. It's important to note that setting small steps doesn't mean lowering your expectations or settling for less. On the contrary, it's a strategy that enables you to tackle ambitious goals with greater confidence and efficiency. It's about breaking the journey into manageable pieces so that you can stay committed and avoid burnout. Taking small steps doesn't diminish the significance of your ultimate goal. It simply makes the process more sustainable and realistic. When you focus on small steps, you also cultivate patience and resilience. Big goals often take time to achieve, and the journey can be filled with challenges and setbacks. By concentrating on the step immediately in front of you, rather than obsessing over the end result, you remain grounded and present in the process. This mindset helps you persevere through difficulties, as you're less likely to feel overwhelmed by the distance between where you are and where you want to be. Setting small, manageable steps is a powerful way to overcome the intimidation of big goals, build momentum, and stay focused. It transforms what might seem impossible into a series of achievable actions, fostering consistency, adaptability, and measurable progress along the way. By taking one step at a time, you not only move closer to your goals, but also develop the habits, skills, and mindset necessary for long-term success. The key is to start where you are with what you can do and trust that each small step will eventually lead to significant change. Confronting fear and resistance is an unavoidable part of achieving your goals. These internal obstacles are universal. Everyone faces them in some form, regardless of their aspirations or abilities. Fear, in particular, has a way of paralyzing action. It whispers doubts, exaggerates risks, and convinces you that failure is not only likely but inevitable. Resistance, on the other hand, manifests as procrastination, avoidance, or a lack of motivation. It's that invisible wall that keeps you stuck in place even when you know what you should do to move forward. Overcoming these challenges is essential because they are often the primary barriers between where you are and where you want to be. Fear is deeply rooted in uncertainty. When you set out to achieve a goal, you step into the unknown, and the unknown can be intimidating. What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if others judge you? These questions can create a storm of self-doubt that undermines your confidence and keeps you from taking action. The key to confronting fear is not to eliminate it, because fear will always exist in some form, but to face it directly. Avoidance only strengthens fear, making it grow larger and more intimidating over time. Instead, by acknowledging your fears and taking deliberate steps forward despite them, you begin to diminish their power. To confront fear, it's important to understand its origins. Fear often stems from a desire to protect yourself, whether it's protecting your ego, your sense of competence, or your comfort. For example, if you fear public speaking, it's likely because you're worried about embarrassment or rejection. However, by reframing fear as a signal rather than a barrier, you can begin to see it as a guide. Fear often points toward the areas where growth is possible. If speaking in public scares you, that's an indicator of an opportunity to develop a valuable skill and expand your capabilities. Facing that fear rather than retreating from it allows you to grow stronger and more resilient. While different from fear is equally insidious, it often appears as a voice in your mind that says, "Not today," or "I'll start tomorrow." Resistance thrives on excuses and rationalizations, making it easy to justify inaction. It might tell you that you're too tired, too busy, or that the timing isn't right. The truth is that the perfect moment rarely arrives. Waiting for ideal conditions only delays progress and reinforces the habit of avoidance. The best way to overcome resistance is to take action, no matter how small. Action creates momentum, and momentum weakens resistance. For example, if you're struggling to start a project, committing to just 5 minutes of focused effort can break the cycle of inaction. Once you begin, you often find it easier to continue. Both fear and resistance thrive on inaction. The longer you delay, the more entrenched they become. That's why it's crucial to build habits that encourage consistent effort, even when you don't feel motivated. Discipline is your ally here, as it allows you to take action regardless of your emotional state. Small, consistent steps are particularly effective because they lower the stakes and reduce the intimidation factor. If your goal is to write a book, for instance, writing 1 paragraph a day feels less daunting than attempting to tackle an entire chapter. Over time, these small actions add up, and the momentum you build helps you push through fear and resistance more easily. Another powerful strategy for confronting fear and resistance is to cultivate self-awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts and feelings that arise when you think about your goals. Are there specific fears or doubts that keep recurring? What triggers resistance for you? By identifying these patterns, you can begin to address them more effectively. For instance, if you notice that fear of failure is a recurring theme, remind yourself that failure is a natural part of the learning process. Reframe it as feedback rather than a judgment of your worth. Similarly, if resistance tends to show up when a task feels overwhelming, break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. It's also important to recognize that fear and resistance are not inherently bad. They are part of the human experience, and they often indicate that you are stepping outside your comfort zone. Growth and progress require you to venture into unfamiliar territory, which will naturally provoke discomfort. Instead of viewing fear and resistance as enemies, see them as companions on your journey. They are signals that you are pushing your limits and striving for something meaningful. Embrace them, but don't let them dictate your actions. It can also be a powerful tool for overcoming fear and resistance. Sharing your goals with someone you trust, whether it's a friend, mentor, or a coach, creates a sense of external responsibility that can motivate you to take action. When someone else is aware of your aspirations and progress, you're less likely to give in to fear or procrastination. Accountability provides an additional layer of encouragement and support, helping you stay focused and committed. Fear and resistance, it's essential to celebrate progress, no matter how small. Every step you take toward your goal is a victory, and recognizing these wins reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Progress, not perfection, is the goal.